We all learn from our mistakes, right? Well, I hope so. But the best part about learning from our mistakes is when we're able to share them with others. So they will not make the same mistakes we've made, and so that we'll be able to correct them if they're even committing those mistakes. And this is what I intend to do in this video. I'm going to present to you the mistakes I've made and what I'm actually seeing other coaches make that's hindering the success of our coaching business. Because my desire for you is for you to have a thriving coaching business. Thriving means progressive, fresh, consistent, and sustainable. And so, if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of every video I post. Because in this channel, you'll find the valuable tips in building a thriving coaching business. My name's Lisa Mackey, and I've been a coachpreneur for over 20 years. So let me begin by sharing with you the mistakes. And then, after presenting to you the mistakes, I'm going to talk about how you'll be able to correct them if you're already committing those mistakes. But if you're not, then good for you. So, this would serve as a warning. Okay, mistake number one is selling on social media. Yep, selling on social media. I see a lot of coaches doing this, and I did the same thing when I transitioned to the online space. I was selling my coaching program on social media. Well, that's a big mistake because social media is meant for lead generation. Social media is for the first phase of your audience journey with you. Social media is for your cold prospects. They don't know you yet. And even if other people on your social media who are following you already know you, and even if they are your target niche, there are always new people coming in. So social media is meant for that first level. And so your social media is for you to create awareness and establish a recall in the minds of people. Mistake number two is prioritizing the wrong things. Now, I'm not saying that these things are wrong. It's just that what normally happens is we prioritize them and then we get stuck on these things instead of focusing first on the most important things. Now, what are these things or wrong priorities that I've made myself, the mistakes I've made, or one of the mistakes I've made, and what I see other coaches doing? And this is one of these things is the website. I don't even know how many people came to me. Like many of my coaches, my clients, when they first came to me, their concern was a website. Like, Lisa, what do I do with my website? Lisa, how can I make my web? How do I bring more traffic to my website? The thing is, it's really a wrong priority, especially when you're just starting with your coaching business or when you just transition, just like me, to the online space. It's a wrong thing to prioritize your website over building the more important things in your business, which I'm going to discuss in a little bit. So, website or probably your social media banners like Facebook banner, YouTube banner, you just want to make them look good. I became obsessed with designing my website because I really love the design aspect. Although I have creative director now, I used to do it myself. And then I also got obsessed with just creating nice, arranging my Instagram, making them look nice. And I prioritize these things. And later on, I realized that it was kind of like an escape from doing the more important things because they're really kind of more fun, right? And then I also got obsessed with just having nice photos. I remember even investing and getting a photographer to do my profile pictures. And it was a rainy day and it was a disaster. And so prioritizing on the wrong things will also, it's also a wrong way to spend your money. So spend your money on the right things first, and then later on, you can add those other things. So it's kind of like buying furniture before you even finish building your house. That's what I'm talking about. And then mistake number three is focusing on strategies more than systems. I love explaining this. So strategies are your plans. Okay. So Instagram reels, um, content creation, batching your content, all these are strategies. Everything that has to do with plans or how to make things better, these are all strategies. And strategies, the way I explain it in a more tangible way to look at it, I always give the analogy of drawers and clothes. So strategies are clothes. Let's just say there are piles of clothes on the bed without the systems. The systems I always compare to drawers. So when you have piles of clothes in your bed, but you don't have drawers to put them in, it's all a mess. And that's what happens. And so we normally focus on the strategies. We watch all these people who are more successful than we are, and especially the influencers in our field. And we look at what they're doing. Oh, this is pretty popular on Instagram. I'm going to do it too. Forgetting that those are strategies. And strategies will only work if there are systems in place. Mistake number four, no catch basin for audience. What normally happens, and this is exactly what happened to me, I was even doing paid ads. Okay, so people see me and I was selling right away without people knowing who I am. And even if I am already an established and seasoned coach, when I transitioned to the online space, nobody really knew who Lisa Mackey is, because I was doing in person coaching. And then transitioning to the online space just made me like invisible and a nobody for everyone. And so what happened was I was putting out all these ads, but it was bringing them it was selling to them my coaching program, and that's fine, but I was leading them directly to the site where to my website that I have designed so they can see my program, and I was expecting them to sign up for my program, but that ain't gonna happen. And I'll explain to you later why. So there is no catch basin for the audience, which means that when they see me for the first time, which is what that ad was for, they didn't know where to go and they were not ready to jump into my coaching program. So that was a huge mistake. Mistake number five is, oh, I love this, no other source of income. So, one of the biggest frustrations of coaches is not really having sales or not having consistent clients for their business. And that was really, really very frustrating for me. I lost a lot of money because I was investing on things that I thought would grow my business, focusing on the strategies, focusing on the wrong priorities, and then I didn't have any money coming in. So everything that I had, my savings, I just used it up. And it was really very, very difficult. And so what happens when there's no money coming in, it leads us to pressure sell. So this is also the reason why you now start selling your coaching program on social media where it's really for lead generation more than for sales. And then it also demotivates us. And that's why when people come to me, they're like, I don't even know if this is what I should do. Maybe I should just quit. Well, I don't want you to quit your coaching business, but I do want you to consider that there should be other sources of income that I'm going to explain to you later what these sources of income looks like. And so no other source of income is a huge mistake. So don't just believe what other experts tell you. People telling you quit your nine to five and start a coaching business. People who told you that, or people who are saying that, they didn't also start that way. I remember there was an influencer who was saying the same thing. Well, not saying the same thing I'm saying, but in the beginning, she was like promoting quitting her 9 to 5. But guess what? She stayed at her mom's place for like I think over a year. And if you have that luxury of time, you have somebody providing for you, well, then go ahead. But if you are like a single mom, or you really have to provide for your family and you have lots of bills and nobody's helping you out, it's really bad. It's a huge mistake to jump into a coaching business expecting that that would bring you the money that you need to sustain you, because it takes time. And again, I'm going to explain that in a little bit. So, those are the five mistakes that I've made, and the same mistakes that I see happening over and over again with other coaches. And if this is something you're doing, then what I'm going to present to you next is how you can correct them and how to do the right things this time. And if you're not committing these mistakes, please don't you ever commit these mistakes, all right? Because it will take you forever to even have a thriving coaching business. And then if you screw up, of course, you can redo everything, but you can't keep redoing your business, because you're going to be like the boy who cried wolf. Nobody's going to believe you anymore. You're ruining your credibility and integrity if you're not sure of what you're doing and you keep making the same mistakes, and then you now have a new program and then you're now excited again, and then people are watching, you're like, okay, I think this is the 10th time that she changed it. And that was what was happening to me in the beginning. And good thing, thank God that it didn't keep going on like that, because I realized, hey, I gotta really think more about these things before I launch another program, because people are just gonna get sick and tired of me. Just I just keep changing and switching up my programs. So what eventually happened with all the switches and all the new programs, they became part of, some of them I've been giving for free, and some of them have been incorporated in my other paid programs. All right. So let's talk about how you can correct these mistakes. So let's go to the first mistake again, which is selling on social media. Okay. So if you can sell on social media, where do you sell? You sell on your sales platform. So the most ideal sales platform for a coach like us is a webinar. Okay. So the nice thing I love about webinars is you can put as many people as you want and do your sales pitch all at the same time. Okay. So in a webinar, you kind of present a little bit of your paid offer, and then maybe you can do like just the steps, just like what I'm doing here, but it's not really giving out everything to them because that's already paid. And then something that will excite them or whet their appetite, so they'll finally say, I need your program. So a webinar is a good sales platform. Another good sales platform is a discovery call. Now, a discovery call is ideal if you are doing one-on-one coaching. Incidentally, if you're just new and you have not really established your credibility as a coach, and so this applies even if you've coached or you have coaching skills and experience, but you're just new in the online space, my suggestion is to focus first on one-on-one coaching before you even dive into group coaching. Now, that would be another video for me to explain all that, but I just thought about it, that to tell you that you shouldn't even consider group coaching until you have established your credibility doing one-on-one. So for one-on-one, it's really one of the good sales platform to have, and I'm sure you already know this, is a discovery call. But for a discovery call to be effective, you really need to build your clients or your audience trust in you first. So let's just say that the person who set up a meeting with you in your discovery call is saw you for the first time on social media. So you are on social media, not really selling, but leading them to your discovery call. And so this discovery call is just the second time that this person is going to be seeing you. So you have to kind of what do you call this? Set up the questions on your discovery call on for you to find out how they found you, um, where they found you, and if they've seen you before or if that was the first time they saw you, something like that. Because that will now give you an idea on how you'll be able to build up your sales pitch when talking to this person. So even if your discovery call is kind of like generic for everyone, you still have to tailor fit it based on not only who your audience is, but their phase of their journey with you. So if this person is new, barely knows you want to make sure that the first few minutes of your discovery call is just for you to build that trust, because this is one big mistake as well, even with discovery calls, is when you just jump right into selling. You got to establish some credibility first, and you got to establish some trust going on. And let me give you an example. This happened to me with a client. So what I did, instead of jumping right away to a discovery call, what I did was call her on the phone. So that just made it more personal, instead of just chatting with her on social media, because that's where she found me. I decided to give her a call. So that was kind of like a level before the discovery call. So she'll be more comfortable with me. And so all I did was to just ask her where she is in her coaching business, what her concerns are. And then I found out that she's also a Christian like me. And so I invited her to join my Facebook community first. And that kind of helped me win her trust. And so after that, we finally scheduled our discovery call. And after the discovery call, she signed up for a one-on-one coaching program. So there's a phase to everything. And so if you are already kind of like experienced in one-on-one and you're now building a group coaching program, my suggestion is to this is something that I've tried that's really effective, and some of my coaches also apply the same strategy. It's kind of like a group discovery call. Because I have a Facebook community, it's easier for me to promote something like this. So what I do is I invite them for a free, kind of like a free Q&A on, sometimes I create a specific topic. Sometimes it's just like whatever, as broad as it can get, depending on my niche and depending on my program. And then I meet them all at the same time. And that was really very effective when I promoted my digital course, because the people who were there, uh, they met me, and then we talked, and then they expressed their concerns, and I was able to address it. So they were ready to purchase my digital course. And instead of just talking to each person one at a time, I was able to bring them all together, which was easier for me, right? More time efficient. And it was also fun for everyone, because it's kind of like a networking and collaboration as well. And so that is for the first mistake. So if you're already selling on social media, there's really no way to correct that except to stop doing that. And what you do is to now create your sales platform. But it's not just a matter of creating your sales platform, and I'll explain to you why. But let's jump first to the second mistake and how to correct that. So the second mistake is prioritizing the wrong thing. So if you've been so consumed with your website, with your other platforms, and just like me, you probably are consumed with the design aspect, just stop what you're doing. Just stop what you're doing. If you already hired someone to work on your website, that's fine. If you already hired someone to work on whatever social media platform, that's fine. I'm not telling you to stop all that. I'm just telling you to dial things in, which means that you have to focus first on the more important things. Now, if you already have like a virtual assistant creating your social media posts, this is something you should consider also. As we move on, you'll understand. Maybe you can use that virtual assistant for something else, or you can still continue doing what you're doing with your social media promotions for as long as you're following these things that I'm explaining to you and you're not making the same mistakes. So that's really on you. And if you need more help figuring that out, you can just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And so prioritizing the wrong things is really, as I've said, it's kind of like buying furniture before your house is even built. So you got to build first the foundation of your online coaching business. Okay. So I'm not just talking about an in person coaching business, because if you really want to thrive, you also have to adapt to the times. And coaching now is predominantly online. I'm not saying cut off the in person if you're doing that. I'm just saying consider incorporating the online coaching. In fact, all your marketing is going to be online. You can still promote it, whatever, if you have still doing directories or if you have an office and you have a huge sign that you're a coach, but it's kind of, not relevant, too relevant for today's times. Anyways, so in a recent video, I explained the things that you need to build to establish a successful coaching business. I'm going to link that up in the video description. But let me just give you the three main important pillars for your coaching business to thrive. So these are the things that you need to build first. So if you've already built this, then that's fine. You can go ahead and proceed with your furniture, the website, and all these other things. But the first thing that you need to have is your brand. So you need to have your brand, the name of your business, which should, I really recommend you using your own name for easy recall. And so you can really establish your credibility as the coach instead of just a company name. And so, if I mentioned, I think in that video, that if you already have a business name that's not your name, you can always do a DBA using your name. And for social media, always use your name. Like me, it's Lisa Mackey Consulting. That's my business name. And I always just use my name, Lisa Mackey. Lisa Mackey. You'll see me on Instagram, Coach Lisa Mackey. Here on YouTube, I use the same, I use the same, what do you call that? Not hashtag, but mention, like at Coach Lisa Mackey. And so the more important thing is for you to have that brand, your business name, your business title. What are you? A business coach, life coach, career coach? You have to be very clear on that. And then, of course, a brief description of what you do. Are you helping them what? So there has to be some transformational statement in your description, a brief one, like kind of like your bio on social media. So that still covers your brand. So that's even before the design aspect. And so your brand identity should really come from your vision, mission statement, which should come from your purpose, and your purpose is connected to your uniqueness. Now that's another story again. And I would link up some videos that where I talked about these things. And then after you have build your brand, you now start building your program design. You can build them simultaneously, but without, because what happens is I see coaches promoting and selling on social media without even having a very clear program design. I've coached some coaches who didn't even have a very clear program design, and no wonder they're not able to sell, other than these mistakes that I've mentioned. And so the program design has to be clear. So once you have your brand, once you have your program design, then you can now start focusing on the design aspect of your website, of your logo, of because without your brand, okay, without the brand identity, you cannot even have a logo, because who's going to do that for you if you don't have the main structure? But what you can have a website without having your logo, without having your business name, without having your title. So it works one step at a time. So before you focus on, oh, I think I like a nice picture for my website or for my social media, make sure that you've already built the main pillars of your business, and then you can proceed with decorating it for all you want. And then the third mistake and how to correct it. Third mistake is focusing on strategies more than the systems. And so if you're already doing this, all you need to do is create the systems where you'll be putting in these strategies. So after you've already built your website, okay, so after you've had your brand identity, after building that, you have your brand identity, you have your program design, and now you have your website or sales page or whatever you're using to bring people to your program design and to make them know who you are. After you've built that and you already have your social media platform, it's now time to create your online marketing systems. So actually the coaching business is just simple. Especially if you don't really have like a huge business, like you're managing coaches and you have so many coaches under you. But if you're just really like more like a solopreneur, you're just like one person really doing the coaching, it's easy because all you really need, and even if you have a partner, even if you have a huge business, the same concept applies. So all you need really are three online marketing systems or platforms. And I call them my ATS system: attention, trust, and sales. So social media is for attention. And when you're just starting, focus on one social media platform where you'll really be pouring out all your efforts and your time. So let's just say your attention system is Instagram. And then you need a trust system. So this is a place where you'll be building trust with your audience. So that's a system in itself. So this is where you'll be giving in more valuable content than what you're giving out on your social media. And then the last system is the sales system. And I already shared with you about the webinar and the discovery call. So that is a sales system. Now, when you have these systems in place and all the strategies that you're thinking of, like, okay, I'm going to do this kind of Instagram reels because this is really trending on Instagram. I'm going to do it. So now, where do you use that? You now use that for your attention system because that Instagram Reels is for the first level, and that is to create awareness and get your audience attention so they are going to stay with you. Okay. And then if you all of a sudden you have this idea, you want to write something and present something, expound on something, kind of just like this one, but this is not really my trust system. YouTube is not my trust system. It's more like my main channel. And I also explained that in another video that I'm going to link up in the video description. And so the trust system, I use email marketing for this. And so when I have like this idea and I'm thinking of a way to explain it, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, this is pretty long now. I can't use this for social media. I'm going to use it for my trust system. So I know where it's going, and it just makes things more organized, which makes us more productive, which leads to a thriving coaching business. And then it's not enough to have this ATS system or systems, which brings me to mistake number 4, which is no catch basin. And so no catch basin means that your audience is falling out. So this is what happened to me. I explained to you earlier that I did paid ads before, and then people were seeing me, but I was leading them to the wrong system. And then there was nothing catching them in between. So, which means that if I see you for the first time, where is it going to lead me to? If you're leading me to your sales platform or your sales system and I don't know you yet, it's not going to work for me. But if there's no other place for me to go to, then I fall out. And you know how short people's attention spans are these days, especially on social media. I mean, come on. You're looking at one reel and then there's another one, another one, another one. It's nonstop. And that's why reels are very effective to just get their attention. But after that, where do you bring them to? So this is what I'm talking about when I say that one of the biggest mistakes is not having any catch basin. So the attention, trust, and sales systems or platforms, they are catch basins, but they need to be connected as seamlessly as possible. They need to be integrated with each other so that your audience is not falling out. So what happens is this. Let's just say that you see me or you saw me on my Instagram reels and I really got your attention. So you check me out. Okay. So this means that I was able to already catch you on that first level. You check me out, and in checking me out, you were led to because you downloaded a lead magnet or you signed up for my email marketing, you wanted to subscribe to my emails, then I was able to capture your email, which already caught you for that next level. And then because you're now in my email list, I'm now promoting to you that I'm going to have a webinar, or I'm promoting to you that if you want to schedule a free 15-minute call with me, you can now go to my discovery call calendar. And now I bring you to that next level, which is my sales platform. So this is what I'm saying about the catch basin. Having a catch basin means that all these systems are integrated and connected with each other. And I have other videos that explain this more, and I'm going to link that up again in the video description. So check everything out later after watching this video. So let's go to mistake number 5, the last mistake actually, which is no other source of income. And so I was explaining earlier that this is one huge mistake. I don't even know how many people have come to me already and how I wish I can help everyone. But when some of them, they came to me and they barely have any money anymore. So I can't even coach them. And so I just kind of lead them to some of my free stuff. But that's pretty limited. I can't really help them because I don't even have money anymore to spend for a coach. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to keep thriving. And this is why I love to use the word thriving more than just successful, because thriving is progressive. You're moving forward step by step by step. And so what you do, if you're just starting your coaching business, because to be honest with you, it takes time to build a consistent coaching business, which means that you're generating consistent sales. And so, in fact, it's a huge letdown when you launch. For instance, you launch a coaching program, and then people sign up, and you get a certain amount of money, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, is this how much I can really make?" And then that's all you make for the year. And I've heard stories like that. And so you got to be realistic, because the people who are telling you that you're going to make this money, this much money, uh, you know, what what did it take for them to get there? And so what you do is you set yourself up, okay? Set yourself up to thrive. So if you have a job, if you still have a job, don't quit your job. Maybe you can get less hours so you can focus more on building your coaching business but still have a source of income. If you already quit your 9 to 5, my best suggestion for you is to find some projects or side gigs. And so, what are these side gigs? Depending on your skill, depending on what job you left. So, do not let this compete with your coaching business. I'm not suggesting that you offer something else to your audience that you are building for your coaching program. You don't want to do that, or it will mess things up. So you kind of have a side business that maybe will complement this coaching business, or maybe something that can lead them eventually to this business, but it shouldn't compete with what you're building and what you're doing for your coaching business. So, one suggestion, one project, and this is what I did, I offered consulting sessions. Because before I transitioned to the online space, I was already doing business coaching, but it was a totally different coaching. It was more for my clients who I was helping build a business plan. And so because of that, I was able to offer consulting services for them. And I also had and still have a professional writing business. And so I did career coaching that had nothing to do with my business coaching or coaching coaches. And because I was doing career coaching, I wasn't promoting it on social media. It was a different channel, a different avenue. It was local clients. And so you can do that. Just don't let it compete with what you're doing. And for as long as it's not going to take like 100% of your time, that will give you no more time to build your coaching business. So consulting sessions, or maybe you can do projects if you love to write, if you love to do the design aspect, maybe you can help other people. And yes, you can still do coaching, without using your coaching program. If you're not ready yet, go to people and offer them probably a portion of your coaching program. It doesn't have to be the entire package. Offer something cheaper, like instead of a full blown signature program, offer some people like just 4 sessions for a minimal amount. So these are things you can do while you're building your coaching business, but never, ever, ever not have a source of income. I'm not telling you to go back to your 9 to 5 if you've already quit, because do want you to have time to build your coaching business. Now, I can go on and on explaining all these things to you because this is really my passion. I can give you more advice. So if you if you need more answers to your questions, please just drop your comments or follow me on Instagram. I'll put all the social media links there. Follow me on Instagram. You can also follow me on Facebook and just drop me a message. I saw you on YouTube and I watched this video and I have some questions. And if you want to take it to the next level, then I can send you the link to my free discovery call. But that is if you're more serious to take it to the next level of coaching with me. And if you love reading emails, I'd love to have you in my LMC Insider community where I deliver more valuable tips on building a thriving coaching business. I deliver it straight to your inbox every Wednesday. All right. So I do hope that this has really helped you understand what mistakes you may be making or be more aware of them. And I hope that what I shared as a way to correct them will also help you not do the same things over and over again, because I do want you to have a thriving coaching business. And so go check out my other videos, specifically my latest videos, because I've really shifted my focus now to coaching, to coaching coaches and to helping entrepreneurs or coachpreneurs build a thriving business. And so thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of every video I post. And I'd love to have you in my LMC Insider community. So thank you so much. See you at the next one.